Rina's mother has had to sell most of her land and livestock to pay the costs of Rina's treatment. With the family's funds running out, Rina has given her youngest daughter up for adoption. The family has learned the hard way. Rina's sister Mukhta is already 20, but after the problems her sister faced, she refuses to get married young. Breaking with tradition in villages like this is difficult. Government figures show that 58% of girls in Bangladesh below the age of 19 are either pregnant or mothers. And UN figures show that it's teenage girls who face 3 times more risk of maternal mortality and morbidity than women in their 20s.
In some of the developing countries, it's part of the culture. It's part of the underdevelopment of women, the inequities that exist, the early marriages for young girls that are still underdeveloped, whose body are not yet ready to give birth. These are the issues that have to be addressed.
I do wonder what it would be like if I were a man. And I know that if I were a man, I would never treat another woman like this. Since I've been treated this way, I'm sure I would never treat another woman like this.
It's cultural practices, like the social pressures for early marriage of girls, that are the root cause of the high maternal mortality rate in South Asia, as well as for some of the lowest levels of education, health, and nutrition for girls and women. Religious leaders are aware of the issues and say that religion should be no barrier to women's rights.
I think the rights given to women in Islam supersedes the rights given to them by any other religion that I am aware of. Men and women complete one another and make each other whole. Men cannot, without the help of women, create or administer a nation, a community, or a family. Quite similarly, women cannot perform their duties without the assistance of men. But together they can make a home, a society, or a country beautiful, fruitful, and functional. For this reason, men have a lot of responsibilities towards women.
Bangladesh has made significant progress recently in reducing maternal mortality. According to the UN Population Fund, the number of women dying in childbirth has almost halved in the last 13 years, down from 60 to 32 out of every 10,000 deliveries. One of the government's first steps was to focus on empowerment of women and invest heavily in girls and adolescent education. Primary and secondary enrollment of girls went up dramatically. For the first time ever, more girls than boys now attend both primary and secondary school. And in the rural areas, the government's also training skilled birth attendants and community midwives to perform safer deliveries, and teaching them to refer complicated cases to health facilities.
Over the last 10 years, maternal mortality reduction has not reduced. We are continuing to lose a woman to maternal mortality at the rate of 1 per minute. This is unforgivable because the interventions that are required to save these women's lives are available, and they are known to the global health community. They are easy to implement, and they can become a pivotal part of any health system, no matter how poor the country. It is a question of priorities, even for the developing economies. So that I believe that it is feasible, it is possible, if the countries want it badly enough.
For Rina and her family, it's all come too late.
I hope my daughter does well and develops herself. I hope that I can educate her and she can possibly be a nurse or even a doctor. These are my dreams. Maybe I can't achieve them. At the moment, I can't even educate her, but I will try my best and I'm doing all that I can. Maybe I can make her a nurse. If she can pass her matriculations, she could be a nurse. Just because I am uneducated does not mean that I want my daughter to be uneducated. That's all that I want.
But Reena also tries to make sure that other women don't have to go through what she went through. Reena's neighbour, 18-year-old Rashida, was married last year. She is now 5 months pregnant. But like other women in the village, Rashida has not been for an antenatal checkup. Yet, according to UNICEF, 15 out of every 100 women risk complications giving birth. Reena's had a long day trying to convince Rashida's family to take her for a checkup. When Reena first visited this district hospital, it had no emergency obstetric care facilities. Last year, the government established an emergency unit as well as a maternal and child welfare clinic.